So patriotic comrades, breaking news, Ruel Reid walks free. By the end of this video, you will see how the JLP's legal machinery might be rigged and how Ruel Reid just might walk free. Stay tuned. Now, patriotic comrades, let's add some context. Over 50 million allegedly misappropriated from government youth programs. The accused, Ruel Reid, former JLP Education Minister, his wife Sharon, daughter Sharelle, Fritz Pinnock, former CMU President, and JLP Councillor Kim Brown Lawrence. Charges: breaches of Corruption Prevention Act, conspiracy to defraud, misconduct in public office, proceeds of Crime Act. Them they are all like charges, you know. But the man still end up bust the case. I'm going to show you how. The initial trial date was pushed. Court logistics, judge changes, bombshell disclosures. Could the entire case collapse before it even properly begins? Patriotic comrades, be honest. If this was a PNP minister, do you think the case would have been dropped so fast? Drop your opinions in the comments below. No holding back. Let's see where Jamaica really stands on justice. First legal bombshell. Defense moves. Defense led by Hugh Wildman for Pinnock, plus teams for Reid and others, is arguing that key statements were illegally obtained. Pay attention to that, in a patriotic comrades. They demand dismissal unless independent evidence is produced. So notice how strong the wording of the defense is. Pay attention to the words where they might use. Wildman claims the FID, Financial Investigations Division, had no authority to collect or share certain statements. Also, some search warrants might be invalid, meaning key documents might be inadmissible. He goes as far as calling the prosecution's case stillborn unless fresh evidence is presented. Pay attention to the words where Hugh Wildman I use. Defense argues the fruit of poison tree doctrine. Anything derived from illegally obtained evidence cannot stand. If the evidence wins this preliminary fight, does the entire indictment vanish? FID had no authority. Illegal statements, stillborn case. Yo, is this a courtroom or a comedy show? Comment with the funniest line from this saga. Prosecution strikes back / clash over disclosure. On day one, the defense and prosecution clashed over disclosure protocols and timing. The defense said they were ambushed by late uploads of documents in the cloud. The prosecution responded that the documents were re-uploads and that they had been notifying the defense. Judge Sanchia Borrell, now presiding, will rule on the indictment application and consider whether to grant more time for defense to respond. The court is under pressure. Whole heap of pressure. The volume of disclosures is huge. The defense says they can't properly prepare. Prosecution argues it's the defense's responsibility to keep up. Any delay cannot be laid fully at Crown's feet. Will the judge throw out the indictment or let the case proceed? If this case ends with no justice, what does that say about Jamaica's system? Comment one word to describe how this makes you feel in the comments below. Legal theory and political angle. So, patriotic comrades, quick legal explainer. What is an order of indictment? It's a threshold step. Without it, the trial can't proceed. Why the defense strategy is clever or ruthless. If the indictment is rejected, all the charges could collapse without the state ever proving the case. Past precedent. Reid and Pinnock have already challenged FID powers before. In Pinnock and Reid versus FID, the courts have already treated FID's authority in a nuanced way. Whether FID can arrest/charge was debated. Political reading. This is not just legal battle, it's a messaging war. If Reid walks, JLP loses moral ground. If the case proceeds, PNP gets a weapon. How many political cases against JLP linked figures have been quietly disappeared due to legal technicalities? Keynote and pay attention to that, because if you think Ruel Reid now go walk free with him and his family, everybody, you make a sad mistake. When you see the man party win a third term, this a case you get dash out, you know. This a case you get dash out. Judge's ruling drops Monday. What do you think she's gonna decide? Leave your guess in the comments below. We are pinning the best one in the next video. Plot twists and deep dive. So, patriotic comrades, possible twist. The crown might scramble to find independent, untainted witnesses or documents, or the defense might force a fatal flaw in the crown's case that no amount of repair can fix. Meanwhile, whispers behind the scenes is the JLP mobilizing legal influence, media pressure, or internal leaks. If the crown's strategy is paper bombshell overload, maybe they should have tried proof first. What if Reid does walk? What's the political fallout? What if the judge splits the baby and sends parts back? When the judge hands down her decision, it's going to shock the nation. Predict it now. Will Ruel Reid walk free or face trial? Type your verdict in the comments below. A. Walks free. B. Case continues. Or C. Judge pulls a shock twist. Let's hear it in the comments below. Patriotic comrades, let's do some scenario forecast as it relates to this Ruel Reid trial. So, me lay out 3 outcome parts. Outcome 1, case dismissed, indictment rejected. What happens next? Reid and company set free. Crown reeling, case likely dead unless appeal. Political fallout, huge win for JLP. PNP must pivot narrative. Public outrage / disbelief. Outcome number 2, indictment granted. Trial proceeds. What happens next? Full trial. Many months / years of legal warfare. Political fallout. PNP gets ammunition. JLP under constant attack. Outcome number 3, compromise / partial rejection. What happens next? Some charges fall, others persist. Case fractured. Political fallout. confusing verdict for public. Both sides claim partial success. I stress that the most dramatic is the first one. Case get dismissed, indictment rejected. Ruel Reid and company set free. Let's debate. Is this good lawyering or systematic corruption? Sound off below in the comments. Best comments gets a shout out next video. Here's a summary of the highlights and the key points. Quick recap. High stakes case. 50 million alleged fraud involving a former JLP minister and associates. Defense strategy. Argue statements were illegally obtained by FID/police. Demand dismissal without independent evidence. Prosecution push back. Argue disclosures were timely, re-uploads and defense is delaying deliberately. Judge's pivotal role. Senior Parish Judge Burrell must decide whether to permit indictment or kill the case. Legal precedent. Ruel Reid and Pinnock already challenged FID powers in earlier court proceedings. Political stakes. Outcome could redefine public trust, legal accountability, and the narrative between PNP and JLP. 3 possible outcomes: dismissal, full trial, or compromise split. The judge's decision will be the turning point, and we'll dissect it live. If you were the judge, what would your verdict be? Be real. What's fear? What's politics? What's manipulation? Patriotic comrades, if you watch this case carefully, you would realize that them a set it up for Ruel Reid bust the case. Them a set it up for Ruel Reid walk scot free. I mean, even want no scot, much less we make Ruel Reid walk free. But a theme government in a power. Me already have this conversation with some brethren from last month, and them a talk about, oh, we no see Ruel Reid will get sink and them go to prison. Me I say, go which prison? We no see man party win a third term. What kind of which prison? We never seen a politician go to prison in Jamaica. Ah boy, he mo walk free, man. He mo bust the case. Them a set up everything and I do everything. Everything is already in line for him bust the case. Remember, you know, approximately 15% of witnesses in the multimillion-dollar fraud case involving former JLP Education Minister and Senator Ruel Reid cannot be located. But the trial will commence in 3 weeks as scheduled, prosecutors have revealed. And this article from September 16th. This article from last month. I'm here telling you. Say Ruel Reid and company I go boss this a case here. And if but nor maybe, it is as sure as the sun rising in the east and setting in the west. This a sitting where me can bet money pan. If you missed it, let me say it loud and clear so you can hear it. Defense pushes for dismissal of case against Ruel Reid, Pinnock and others. The multimillion-dollar fraud trial of former Education Minister Ruel Reid and others has been adjourned to Monday as the defense seeks dismissal unless the Crown produces independent statements not gathered by Financial Investigations Division FID agents or by police officers acting under its instructions. So now them I say the evidence that is or that was gathered by the FID and the police is basically illegal, and that makes it inadmissible in the court. And if they can provide, or if they cannot provide new and independent evidence, then Reid and company are go walk free. Now this is legal sabotage. of the judicial system. Remember, you know, we see Ruel Reid support the Jamaica Labour Party, you know. India then conference, India then meeting, India then everything. He still is a part of the Labour Party. He never left the Labour Party. They never kick him out. You see me? Remember say the Labour Party is the party of corruptions and scandals and, you see me, just riddled and rampant with political corruption. So if you think say when Ruel Reid bust this a case here, he now go reassume back official status in the JLP, uno make a sad mistake. He more get some special appointment in the JLP administration, just like what happened to Wheatley, Bobby Montague and Dalrymple Filbert. As soon as he bust this a case here and the case get dash out, he might go right back in a JLP under some special appointment. Just watch, and them will make sure say he eat. You think them will make their own get hungry? No, them will make sure say he eat. Them will set him up so he eat. So you can stay there. Choose Jamaica. You choose corruption. Big JLP political corruption, and that the people them choose. That's why I'm telling you to pay attention to the wording of Ruel Reid them liar. Cause the wording make you know say, yo, this a case here, I go get that shot, you know. And Ruel Reid them, I go walk free. Make we go over the charges them again, just in case you missed it. Breaches of Corruption Prevention Act. Conspiracy to defraud, misconduct in public office, proceeds of crime act. All of them there are the charges with upon Ruel Reid and company. And with all of them the charges there, man still a bust a case. Man still a walk free. So just know say, man I go bust a case soon. So come Monday, we are going to hear what's the verdict based off of where Judge Burrell say. Patriotic comrades member say Hugh Wildman basically is saying or what he's arguing that key statements were illegally obtained. That's why them a demand a dismissal unless independent evidence is produced. So me want to pay attention, don't make you go over on your head. So Wildman a claim said that the FID had no authority to collect or share certain statements, and he must say some search warrants might be very well invalid, meaning the major key documents might be inadmissible, and if they're inadmissible, case have to get dash out, and that them a push for. Hugh Wildman them a push for the case get dash out. He even go as far as to say calling the prosecution's case a stillborn. Everybody know what stillborn mean. Unless fresh evidence is presented. He basically I say this a case here did dead for the moment it come in a court, you know. The moment this case touch the court, it should have get thrown out from the very first day. From day one, it should have get dashed out. Because FID mess up, and that he must say warrants were invalid, hence the documents that was collected, key documents now that was collected by the search warrant or search warrants are going to end up be inadmissible in the court now. So I must say, I still ban this for day one, you know. Me don't know how a trial or a case reach this far in the court. That is what Hugh Wildman is saying to the judge. Me tell you this a case here, have to get that shout. And this is why me I tell you say, Ruel Reid and company, bust the case, them will walk free. And if but nor maybe. So now patriotic comrades, them now say them innocent, you know. And that the liar saying, the liar is not saying that them never take the 50 million, you know. The legal angle where the liar push is you obtain the evidence illegally. FID never have the authority to do certain things. That I angle where them a push to get the case for dash out. So it's not a matter of say them guilty or them not guilty. And that them a push for based on the overwhelming compelling evidence of the missing $50 million, we know said them guilty. But on the technicality that evidence were obtained illegally, now that make it become inadmissible in the court of law. So it's not what you know, is what you can prove in said court of law, and that make all of the difference. So this case will be thrown out based on legal technicality. $50 million, one education system. Do you feel like people ever get justice in Jamaica? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. I call on you, my patriotic comrades. Don't let this slip. Demand transparency. Press your MP. Share this video. This is part of a bigger PNP versus JLP saga of accountability, corruption, selective justice. Which outcome do you think will happen? Let's hear your thoughts in the comments below. The judge's ruling coming Monday. We'll break it down live when it drops. Click here to subscribe for live verdict analysis. Watch my other videos. Join the discussion and comment below.